This video is powered by K.R. Mangalam University.
A massive defeat for the U.S. military has now been shockingly exposed to the world, all unfolding right after U.S. President Donald Trump boldly ordered the Navy to hijack a critical ship in a high-stakes operation gone awry. Over 400. That's the staggering U.S. military casualty number finally being revealed in brutal detail, coming to light just as the fragile truce begins to rapidly wane and tensions erupt once more on the battlefield. A stunning revelation has emerged after U.S. troops were caught on camera going hungry and desperate for supplies aboard their warship stationed in the volatile Mideast waters amid escalating conflict. Epic fury or epic failure? Which is it truly shaping up to be? As Trump's daring Iran gamble continues to snowball uncontrollably into a full-blown debacle with consequences rippling across the globe. As the Iran ceasefire's end looms ever closer with mounting tension across the region, the U.S. military's staggering manpower losses have finally been revealed in shocking detail to the world watching this escalating crisis unfold. The Pentagon has reportedly confirmed that the number of U.S. troops injured in the Iran war now stands at a devastating 415, highlighting the true human cost of the prolonged conflict in the Middle East. The U.S. government's bombshell revelation about these casualties was reported on April 20th, just days before the fragile two-week ceasefire is set to dramatically end, raising fears of renewed all-out hostilities. Now, among the wounded are 271 Army personnel, 63 Navy sailors, 62 Air Force members, and 19 Marines, according to exclusive reporting from Press TV that has sent shockwaves through military circles worldwide. And this grim update arrives amid a complete stalemate in high-level diplomatic talks, even as both the US and Iran continue their aggressive blockade of the vital Strait of Hormuz, choking off critical global trade routes. Now, US President Trump has firmly declared that he won't lift the US blockade of key Iranian ports until a comprehensive peace deal is finally struck, signaling no backing down in this tense standoff. Tehran, in a bold move, has meanwhile signaled that it doesn't intend to send any negotiators to Pakistan's capital for the upcoming talks, effectively stalling any immediate path to de-escalation. Iran's stark declaration came amid fresh reports of U.S. Vice President Vance traveling to Pakistan on April 21st in a last-ditch effort to broker peace amid the rapidly deteriorating situation. Iran specifically cited the ongoing U.S. blockade of its vital Iranian ports as the primary reason behind its decision not to participate in these critical international talks at this juncture. In an April 20th message posted boldly on social media, Trump claimed that the USA was decisively winning the war against Iran, despite the mounting evidence of heavy casualties and diplomatic gridlock. Trump said, and I quote, "I'm winning a war by a lot. Things are going very well. Our military has been amazing, and if you read the fake news like the failing New York Times, the absolutely horrendous and disgusting Wall Street Journal, or the now almost defunct, fortunately, Washington Post, you would actually think we're losing the war. The enemy is confused because they get these same media reports and yet they realize their Navy has been completely wiped out. Their Air Force has gone into darker runways. They have no anti-missile or anti-airplane equipment. The former leaders are mostly gone. This has been, in addition to everything else, regime change. And perhaps most important of all, the blockade, which we will not take off until there is a deal, is absolutely destroying Iran. They are losing $500 million a day, an unsustainable number, even in the short run. The anti-America fake news media is rooting for Iran to win, but it's not going to happen because I'm in charge. Just like these unpatriotic people used every ounce of their limited strength to fight me in the election, they continue to do so with Iran. The result will be the same." Unquote. Now, amid ongoing Middle East deployments, concerns have emerged over food conditions aboard U.S. Navy vessels operating in the region. A Marine aboard the USS Abraham Lincoln reportedly shared images of a meal showing small portions and processed food items. The tray was described as including boiled vegetables, a dry meat patty, and a gray processed meat slab, according to reports. Similar complaints have also emerged from sailors aboard the USS Tripoli, citing limited food supplies during a deployment. Now, service members told families that food was being rationed and fresh produce was not available on board ships. Sailors messaged relatives saying crew members ate when possible and shared available food equally on board. Mariners also warned that onboard supplies were running low and no port visits were expected in the near term. Families responded by preparing care packages containing food, hygiene products, and basic comfort items for troops. The boxes included snacks, vitamins, socks, toothpaste, and sweets intended to support deployed service members. However, many shipments were delayed after mail delivery was suspended across multiple overseas military zip codes. U.S. President Donald Trump announced that the U.S. military carried out the seizure of the Iranian vessel on April 19th. The U.S. military also released footage showing Navy fire hitting the cargo ship while it was out at sea. According to reports, a U.S. missile destroyer intercepted the ship as it allegedly attempted to head towards Iran. The Iran-flagged vessel was said to be traveling towards Bandar Abbas port when it was stopped, according to the U.S. military. The U.S. officials have also said that the ship ignored communications for more than 6 hours, which led forces to take action. Iran has accused the United States of violating the ceasefire after attacking its cargo vessel in the Gulf of Oman. On April 19th, U.S. forces reportedly fired on the ship, disabling its engine before boarding and seizing it. U.S. President Donald Trump later confirmed the seizure, saying the vessel was under U.S. sanctions. In response, Iranian media said drone attacks were launched targeting U.S. warships operating nearby. Iranian officials described the strikes as direct retaliation for what they called a U.S. act of aggression. Iran strongly condemned the incident and warned that further retaliation against the U.S. would follow. Ibrahim Zolfagari said, and I quote, "The aggressor United States violated the ceasefire and committed maritime piracy by firing at an Iranian merchant ship in the waters of the Sea of Oman and landing a number of its terrorist marines on the deck of the vessel, disabling its navigation system. We warn that the armed forces of the Islamic Republic of Iran will soon respond to this armed piracy and retaliation by the U.S. Army," unquote.
$25 करोड़ गरीब गरीबी को परास्त करके बाहर निकले।
For the good of our nation, let's work together and let's truly make America great again.
The fastest news breaks.
Requested PM saying that look, you will have to speak to Putin and to Zelensky.
The biggest news makers.
The relationship with India is probably the most important bilateral relationship the U.S. will have for the rest of this century.
The capital delivered quite an election result today.
Expert analysis.
The million-dollar question today is how to stop this dance of death.
Ground reports.
I'm standing at the crossroad of the Kumbh Mela. Behind me are more than 100 entry guards.
Long-form interviews.
Exclusionary politics is reflected in Manipur case as well. You don't bother because this is a small state.
Deep dive into burning issues.
It's often said DRC could be the richest country in the whole world. It's because of what sits underneath.
Why exactly did the US topple the Sheikh Hasina government?
HT videos. We don't just break news, we break it down.